bit of a rare view this morning. The goddess obscured by the bay tree. But I suppose you've guessed it. I'm painting the walls of the veranda. And it's been snowing and it's been wet and it's been cold. And, but I've been getting on with it, even though the drip up there is not helping. But anyway, just keep going. That's my attitude. So you can see there's a beautiful colour beginning to emerge here. And as I've been painting, I've been, in my mind's eye, redesigning the veranda. So not in terms of actual structure, because I can't afford to do that, but certainly in terms of placement. I've been cutting back little bits of my cotoneaster here just to get in behind it to paint. And yeah, so I'm just thinking about colours now, the colours of the furniture, what goes on here, how best to make use of the space. So lots and lots of stuff like that going through my head. Now I'll show you over here. Been a few setbacks, but you always expect to have a few setbacks. For example, this side of the shed here was so wet that when it did begin to rain, the preservative hadn't dried properly, so it's kind of run a bit. But that's okay. That's just a touch-up job, as they say. Beautiful colours, because the sky is quite dark. And there's quite a lot of snow up there, I think, which is really typical of this time of the year. I'm really liking the way the design on the bench stands out against that green wall. So definitely going to keep the bench there. Now, when I was looking out the kitchen window earlier on, I saw quite a lot of snow on Kilronan Mountain. And you can see bits of it here. Bits of it has settled. But of course, it's snow and it's rain and it's slush and, you know, the temperatures aren't cold enough and the ground isn't dry enough for the snow to take hold. So, like I said, it's very typical spring weather. And one of the ways in which you can actually tell that spring is literally just around the corner is the way the colours of the plants are standing out. Now this is because the sap is rising. Without a doubt, the sap is rising. There's little buds coming out on the quince. Look at this. Isn't this lovely? You could just about see the snow now on Kilronan Mountain, and also see the oats that I've scattered for the bigger birds, the blackbirds and the thrush. Do you know I had 4 pairs of blackbirds here out the front yesterday morning? I couldn't believe it, because blackbirds are notoriously territorial and they will guard their space, using at times quite a deal of violence. So what I do in order to prevent that is to scatter the oats over quite a wide area. So if one very bossy blackbird decides that the others shouldn't be there, he's got quite a way to hop to get to the intruders. So the mountain actually looks quite beautiful this morning, and there's a lovely clarity as well in the air. There's that lovely blue in the sky. It's a snow blue, if you understand what I mean. You know, there's very heavy snow clouds up there. And it's sort of echoing the blue, well, the sage green as it's called, but it comes out like a sort of a blue. on the woodwork of the cottage. Now there's one of the blackbirds over there. You see they're very hungry, so they're going to come down even with me standing here. And of course, my little friend down there, my beautiful little robin. There he is. Good morning. Good morning to you. Not a bit frightened. Very friendly. Looks so gentle this morning. I think snow does that, doesn't it? It brings a gentleness. And yet it can be quite cruel. But I suppose that's the yin and the yang, you know. There's a duality going on. There's a duality in everything, of course. So Imach now is Saturday, and I'm going to be incredibly busy between now and Saturday, and certainly for some time after as well, because of the amount of work I have to do. I still only got 2 of the apple trees pruned, and I really need to crack on with those, because that window for pruning them is fast closing, because as I've said before, spring comes in to the west of Ireland about a month earlier than other parts of the British Isles or Europe, bar Cornwall and Devon and the western part of Scotland and the Western Isles. So I am going to be very busy. Don't be surprised if you don't hear much from me now on YouTube. Just giving you the heads up on that. Don't start worrying that I've fallen off a ladder or something. Please, Goddess, may I not fall off a ladder or something. Here's my 2 little box plants. Look, I still have to transplant those. Eek, eek. I try not to look at all this too much because I can begin to panic. And there's a dripping. There's a dripping gutter. Look, let me just show you. You see I've got the slate there to protect the wall. Okay, that's how long that gutter's been dripping. It's been dripping, I think, this past 15, 16 years. And I've been up there and checked it, and of course, it's not blocked or anything. It's just that it needs replacing. I try not to think too hard about these things because I can get a little bit, well, I won't say depressed, but anxious that I need to be catching up with all the stuff that has to be done. Of course, that really entails money and employing someone. So that's even more pushed forward. Lots and lots of buds everywhere. And I noticed the sheep on the hill there, they come down just behind the Mahonia, which is lovely to see. I think the lambs will be coming soon. Now the next time I'm driving out and about during the day, which is not that frequent at the moment because during the day I'm working here trying to get things done in the daylight hours, but the next time I'm out and about I bring my camera with me because I'm quite sure there'll be lambs in the fields, especially if I'm driving down towards Sligo, driving down towards the actual coast. Now I don't often say this because I don't push things on my channel, I don't ask you to, well, it's not my business whether you subscribe or not, or hit the like button or anything like that. That's entirely your own business and your own choice. I'm sniffing a little bit, that's from working outdoors. But if you could see it in your heart and in your purse to buy a calendar, that would be very much appreciated, because I really am aware that I could be left with a fair few of them, and that's quite disappointing. But anyway, whatever will be, will be. So I promise to get back to you as soon as I can. It may just be a short video. If I get the chance, I'll make a longer one. But for the moment, I better crack on with my painting, despite the leaks, the leaks in the veranda and the rain. I'm quite enjoying it. Blessings to you all, my friends. Blessings to you all.